This week on Charger Bulletin News, Ophelie Rowe-Allen gets a promotion, a local animal shelter is closing, spring break closing information, and fall 2023 pre-registration information. Right here on Charger Bulletin News. Hello and welcome to Charger Bulletin News. I'm Sidara Funches.
And I'm Elisa Brocha. Let's get into this week's top stories.
In an early afternoon email from the Office of the Chancellor, it was announced that former Dean of Students, Ophelie Rowe-Allen, has been promoted to Vice President of Student Affairs and began work in her new position on March 1st. Rowe-Allen joined the university as Dean of Students in 2020, the summer after the campus closed down to the COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, she has served as the Chief Diversity Officer in addition to her duties as Dean of Students. She has introduced new programs, created the first Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Accessibility, and Belonging report, and has continuously done work to enrich the campus community for the student body. In the position of Vice President of Student Affairs, Rowe-Allen is taking a higher leadership role in overseeing wellness initiatives for students both concerning physical and mental health. Rowe-Allen will continue to report to Gregory Eichhorn, who holds the title of Vice President for Enrollment and Student Success.
On Wednesday, March 1st, the Undergraduate Student Government Association held an open forum that allowed students to discuss their concerns about the university. Discussions included operating hours of campus dining, the hours buildings are open, asking to be warned in advance if major hubs of students' activities are being closed for an event, conversations about harmful rhetoric, DEI training, and of course, campus dining services. Accessibility concerns and frustration with campus police were also brought up, especially concerning sentiments of elitism and rude behavior within UPT. The full story can be found in the most recent edition of the Charger Bulletin newspaper or at chargerbulletin.com.
In heartbreaking local news, the SPCA Animal Shelter in Monroe is closing after more than 20 years in service. The shelter's doors will be closing for the last time on May 6th this year and needs help finding homes for the remaining animals in their care. According to the press release posted on social media, a spokesperson from the shelter expressed that many of the animals are in perfect health, are socialized, and are highly adoptable. Some of the older animals have medical conditions but are very loving and affectionate. In its years of service to the community, the shelter maintained its no-kill policy, but financial constraints have caused the shelter to need to close. There are currently 18 dogs and 14 cats in the care of the shelter, located at 359 Spring Hill Road in Monroe. According to the press release, a volunteer expressed that, quote, "We are most concerned that any animal not adopted or placed in another shelter will be at high risk of being euthanized. We need people to adopt a dog or cat or make a donation to our GoFundMe page, which helps covers our vet expenses and possible rehoming of our animals," end quote. If you or someone you know is interested in adopting an animal or making a donation, visit spcact.org. You can also call, email, or visit the shelter in Monroe.
We're halfway through the semester, which means everyone is preparing for spring break. If you haven't already made your way off campus, there are a few important things to keep in mind. Tomorrow, Friday, March 10th, resident halls will close at 10 p.m. Then on Sunday, March 19th, resident halls will be reopened at noon. If you have been approved to stay in campus housing, the mailroom will remain open for the duration of break and will have daily hours. Between March 13th and 17th, the mailroom will be open between 8:30 a.m. and 4:15 p.m.
If you're looking to use university-sponsored transportation, there are limited schedules that you should be aware of as you head into spring break. Starting today, March 9th, there will be a shuttle on loop scheduled to the West Haven train station. This loop will run between noon and 10 p.m. There will be no downtown New Haven shuttle, but all other shuttle services on campus will remain open. On Friday, March 10th, the noon to 10 p.m. shuttle loop to the West Haven train station will continue to run. There will again be no shuttle to the downtown New Haven or mall, but all other services will remain open.
From Saturday, March 11th to Saturday, March 18th, there will be no campus shuttle services in operation, but services will open again on Sunday, March 19th, when residents start returning to campus. The shuttle loop to the West Haven train station will run between noon and 10 p.m., and shuttles and courtesy vans to off-campus residences will be open from 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. No other services will be operating until the next day. Shuttle schedules can be viewed through the Ride System app or at the shuttle.newhaven.edu.
The course schedule for the fall 2023 semester is available through the self-service banner on My Charger. Course registration for the fall is approaching fast, so now's the time to begin planning if you haven't already. If you don't know yet when you'll be registering, we have the important dates for you. On Monday, March 27th, graduate and doctoral students can begin registration. On Monday, April 3rd, seniors can register, followed by special population registration on Tuesday, April 4th. Juniors can begin registration on Thursday, April 6th, followed by sophomores on Tuesday, April 11th, and first-year students on Thursday, April 13th. All registration periods begin on their designated days at 7 a.m. If you require a registration pin for your major, you can reach out to your academic advisor with any questions you may have about registration. And now we go to Will Hink with sports. What's going on, Will?
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the Charger Sports Report. My name is Will Hink. Let's get into it. The women's lacrosse team opened their season last week with a dominant showing against Malloy. Sophomore attacker Reagan Bailey scored 6 goals, 3 of which were unassisted, to put New Haven on top 14-9. They followed this up with a blowout victory against Franklin Pierce 20-8. 11 different Chargers scored at least 1 goal in this impressive showing. The baseball team swept Bridgeport in a 4-game set. The Chargers consistently scored 6 or more runs in these games. Their most recent matchup on Sunday saw New Haven behind 4-1 before chipping away at the deficit to tie the game going into the 7th inning. From there, New Haven was able to put across 5 runs to run away with a 9-4 victory. Freshman Tyler Southville received the win in relief. The men's basketball team continued their run in the Northeast 10 playoffs with a semifinal round against number 1 seed Southern New Hampshire. Despite coming in as heavy underdogs, the Chargers were able to pull off the upset and win 59-42 to advance to the finals. Unfortunately, the ride ended there as number 2 seed St. Anselm put the Chargers championship's hopes down by a score of 65-54. Despite a combined 40-point effort by Quayshawn Lane and Ty Perry, the rest of the team fell short. The season isn't over yet for the Chargers, however, if they have a date with the NCAA Division II East Region Playoffs with a first-round matchup against Paste this Saturday. That's it for this week's Charger Sports Report. I'll see you guys next week. Back to you at the desk.
Do you have an interest in seeing a solar eclipse? The university is offering 2 field trips to be involved with the hands-on projects of academic scientific ballooning. These inventions fly up to 100,000 feet to monitor weather and ozone layers during the total eclipse on October 14th and April 8th. This new effort by the National Eclipse Ballooning Project, or NEBP, works to implement the activities of engineering and atmospheric science. This program allows STEM learners to participate in a NASA mission-like adventure in data acquisition and analysis through scientific ballooning. Travel expenses are covered by the program, so there is no financial cost to participate. No prior knowledge is required, but your commitment to learning materials and interest in the projects are essential. For more information, you can check out your weekly roundup email sent to you on Sunday, March 5th, or search NEBP Montana online.
Coming up next, applications for commuter assistants and diversity peer educators are open. And a spring symposium on forensic investigative genetic genealogy is coming up. But first, we go to Justin Coviello with Student Life. What do you have for us this week, Justin?
Thanks, guys. We're heading into spring break, but when we come back, make sure to check out these events happening around campus. On Tuesday, March 21st at 6 p.m., the Muslim Student Association will be holding a banquet in the German Club. Tickets for the event are available through Eventbrite, and proceeds will go to the Islamic Relief Palestine Fund. For more information, email msa@newhaven.edu. On Thursday, March 23rd, Scope is hosting a trip to the Barclays Center in New York to see the Brooklyn Nets take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Return to campus is expected to be around 10:30 p.m. Sign-ups are required to participate, and check-in will take place at 3:30 p.m. in front of Maxey Hall. For more information, email Scope at scope@newhaven.edu. And for those of you who want to show off your basketball skills, make sure to sign up for Hoop Fest. Hoop Fest is a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that will take place in the Charger Gymnasium on April 15th. Sign up by March 31st if you want a chance to compete. It costs $30 to register a team and $5 for entry into the event. There will also be a 3-point contest, raffles, and a dunk contest. The link for signups is under the event announcement on My Charger, and you can check out their Instagram at UNH_HoopFest for more information. That's all for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
From now until Friday, March 31st, the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion is accepting applications for Diversity Peer Educators, or DPEs, for the 2023-2024 school year. The DPE position aims to strengthen accountability and inclusion in the Charger community by building relationships with students and conducting educational, cultural, social, and personal enrichment programs. The programs contribute to a climate where students can accept themselves while discovering similarities and embracing their differences. The Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion is seeking candidates with good self-awareness, demonstration of all allyship, and interest in becoming part of a community of learners that support understanding, respect, appreciation, and concern for others. Duties include serving as a resource for students from various populations, acting as a role model, working to build an inclusive multicultural community, and promoting ongoing opportunities for peer-to-peer dialogue and intercultural exchange. Qualifications for applying to the position include having the ability and willingness to work collaboratively with others and at least a 2.75 GPA. The application can be found on Charger Connection, and interviews will be held on Friday, April 7th. If you have any questions, please reach out to the cdi@newhaven.edu.
From now until Thursday, March 30th, commuter assistant applications are open for commuters and off-campus undergraduate students who would like to support off-campus students through peer mentoring, one-on-one engagement, and programming. In this position, students should be able to serve as an advocate for the interests, needs, and rights of commuter students, as well as connecting students to campus resources, academic resources, and student organizations on campus. This will be done through implementing initiatives with CELO, programming events, and holding between 5 to 10 outreach hours per week. Qualifications for applying to this position include having at least a 2.7 GPA, be enrolled at the university as a full-time student, and have a general knowledge and understanding of the university. Students must also attend one informational session. This position is open to students with and without federal work study. If you have any questions, please reach out to Chargers Commute at newhaven.edu or Charger Connections for more details.
On Friday, March 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., the 2023 Henry Seeley Spring Symposium will be hosted in person and online. The symposium will focus on the topic of forensic investigative genetic genealogy, or FIG. Forensic genetic genealogy has been used to solve more than 400 cases to identify unknown victims and suspects in cases where DNA profiles were not identified through the CODIS database. During this full-day symposium, you will learn from law enforcement forensics and legal experts about current policies for using FIG strategies for law enforcement and forensics professionals, and the impact of FIG in legal proceedings. The symposium will close with a panel discussion including Dr. Henry Seeley, Dr. Claire Glynn, and guests from the New York State Police Crime Lab, Office of the Chief Medical Examiner of Connecticut, Pennsylvania State Police, and Middlesex District Attorney's Office. Tickets are available for in-person or live virtual viewing. Recording will not be available after the event. Student tickets are $25 per person, attendance and $10 for virtual attendance with discount code. Spring 2023 UNH tickets can be bought on Eventbrite. If you have any questions, please reach out to ifs@newhaven.edu.
That's all the time we have for this week.
You can check out the latest Charger Bulletin newspaper on chargerbulletin.com or in newsstands around campus.
Stay up to date with us by following on social media at Charger Bulletin.
Check out our link tree for access to the Horseshoe magazine.
Thanks for joining us this week. We will be off next week for spring break. I'm Sidara Funches.
And I'm Elisa Broche. See you next time on Charger Bulletin News.